Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back to Inter Worldwide, and it's getting down to that crunch time. We're down to the final 8, the quarterfinals, and Italia is still there going strong. But the biggest hurdle is about to come up. We're about to face, by far, head and shoulders, our toughest opponent of the tournament so far. And yeah, it's really going to be a test for the boys. I've got some really good people here with me today, straight up the road from Sydney. Bruno, come stai? How are you, bro?
Benny, mate, it's starting to get to the crunch time, like you said, and the nerves are starting to kick in.
100%. Michael, it's good to hear from you again, man. Good to see you on Inter Worldwide. Welcome back.
Thank you, Anthony, for having me. Yeah, like Bruno said, and it's all too true. It's getting down to the crunch time. This is where you start to lose sleep over some of these matches. But hopefully our boys can get on the top and win this Saturday morning.
Yeah, and as always, from where you'd rather be, in Siracusa, Sicily. Welcome back, Riccardo. It's always good to see you.
Ciao ragazzi, hi to everyone, and nice to be back on the show. And Forza Italia, this is the place where we like to be now. Knockout stages. Let's go.
100%. So quarterfinals coming up. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. I'm very, very excited. We've got the first game. It's a Saturday morning here in Sydney. I believe it's at 5 a.m. What time is it going to be for you, Riccardo?
First game will be at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and then Italy will be 9 o'clock Friday night. I'm doing a big show like I did in the last with Austria, at a big screen projector. A lot of people over. We like to do it here, like we used to do in Australia too. When I was there, watch the Juventus game, Champions Leagues. But nice to see here in Italy. Really hot, but it's good. That's like where to be. Now it's in and out, man. Let's go. Yeah. Let's take it.
Let's take it. So Belgium, Italy, Switzerland, España, Ukraine, England, Czech Republic, and Denmark. I guess we'll start off just a little bit by going through the results of the round of 16 and how much it really did surprise everybody. I'll start off I've already said my stuff, so I'm just going to go straight to the gentleman. I'll start with you, Michael. The biggest surprise of the round of 16, obviously France going out. Pathetic yet funny for us to see. Germany as well go out to England, a huge talking point. They gather a lot of momentum. What are your thoughts on the round of 16 results, man, and your initial thoughts on these quarterfinals?
Look, the quarterfinals, I think, are unexpected for a lot of reasons. We didn't expect Czech Republic to get the win. We didn't expect, Denmark or even Switzerland being there, knowing who they versed in the round of 16. Switzerland were unbelievable the other day. They really should have won earlier. If Ricardo Rodriguez scored that penalty, it's game over. France isn't coming back. And France, like we were speaking, before we got on live, they've got a lot of internal problems. We saw that on and off the field. There's been a lot of rumours about it. I said it before, I'll say it again. Varane he hasn't had a great, Euro, and it's affected them immensely because in the World Cup, he was one of the best defenders in the tournament in 2018 and ended up going and winning it. Along with a lot of their other players, their midfield looks a bit dead apart from Pogba. As for the England game, Grealish, what a great performance, mate. He just took that game by the hands and 2 assists, 2 goals. And then our own game, Italia-Belgium, wow, what can you say about that? I think if we made the subs early, we wouldn't have had to go in extra time. I think Mancini probably waited a bit too long. But in saying that, we had a really good run. Austria were surprising. They played very well. Alba did very well, and Berardi completely shut him out of the game. He wasn't able to move as fluent as he did in previous games in the group stages. I think we need to start Locatelli next week. He was a big difference in that extra time period, and I think Mancini really needs to assess his options.
Interesting opinions there. There's 11 people here right now, which is awesome. Make sure you like the video. Let us know where you're from if it's your first time. Over to you, Riccardo. Your reaction to Italy and Austria. It was a little bit tougher than it was supposed to be, but still a tough game that we predicted we'd have to get through. What were your thoughts on the match against Austria and your initial thoughts going into Belgium?
Oh, okay. My thoughts about Austria is we talked the last time we were on the chat previous to the game that we all knew it was an easy play Austria. There was really a hard game because they play German style, and I think we knew was going to go extra time, maybe penalty. And also we gotta say, we were talking this before the show. This was the first time of this group led by Mancini on a knockout stage, in and out. So I think that's pay a lot of pressure to the players. I think his changes was too late. The subs, he waited 82 minutes to put Chiesa in. I don't know about that. Could be earlier. Also Pessina. Our midfield didn't perform the way it performed before, but also there was a good opponent in front of us, and I think a lot of was on the pressure on the boys. You know what I mean? Pessina and Locatelli changed the game for sure, and I think as Italian, you know what I mean, I'm a little bit older than all of you. Beating Austria now, I think it doesn't matter with the opponent now. We can go all the way. I'm pretty sure we can beat anyone to reach the final. And my only concern is our first three starters, Berardi, Immobile, and Insigne, because as you all guys see, when the level of the tournament goes up, I don't know if these players, all three together, can really bring what Italy wants. You know what I mean? We need a guy. Mindly, Chiesa is probably the stronger guys on the team. He come in, touch 2 balls, scored with the second ball he touched. So I'm confident with Belgium. Doesn't matter if De Bruyne or Hazard play. I hope they play both, but I think Italy will go through.
Yeah. Let's go over to Bruno next. Let's talk a little bit more specifically about Italy versus Belgium. Man, I'm excited. It's going to be fantastic. Some great players. I would piggyback off what Riccardo said. I don't want to see us beat Belgium without Kevin De Bruyne. I want to see us beat them properly. And I really just think there's no way you can rule a player like that out with a muscular injury like that 5 days before the game, I think it was. So I feel like he's coming back anyway. What are your thoughts about Belgium, bro? It's going to be huge.
Look, Belgium struggled against Portugal in the sense of they got a goal which looks phenomenal, but was against the run of play. If you look at all the statistics and everything, Portugal were on the front foot and they just could not get the goal, which is, it happens in the game. We've seen it with Inter, we've seen it with Italy, we've seen it everywhere. But so Belgium weren't too impressive to begin with. What Italy now have in their favor is the fact that we've got a team where their focal point in Lukaku can easily be marked out of this game. The last person you put on this team is Bastoni. As much as I hate to say it, you cannot start Bastoni against Lukaku. My best defense would have to be Bonucci and Acerbi, because in the 4 fixtures that Lukaku's faced Lazio in, Acerbi has been phenomenal in 3 of them. The one where Inter beat them in the second half of last season, that was where they made 3 substitutes before halftime because of injury. So you can't really take that game. So I feel Acerbi would do well marking Lukaku, and then you've got Bonucci there. And we've got Cellini to bring on if need be. But like Riccardo said, we got over the hurdle of Austria. Now we got to get into our minds and into our mentality that, okay, well, this is just another game. Not this is Kevin De Bruyne's Belgium, or however you want to look at it. Because at the end of the day, I've been saying it all along, this year and this squad and this competition is very reminiscent of the 2006 World Cup, in the sense of Italy, once they got past Australia, it was game over. They just looked like a different animal. And Australia were probably the easiest opponents that entire competition, but it was the ones that pushed Italy the hardest. I'm not sure about you, Anthony, but I did cop it when I went to school the next day, because I played Azzurri through and through. But overall, I think Belgium we need to see Italy play against a team like Belgium. We need to see this team. And I feel this game, win, lose, or draw, Italy will come away with a lot. Mancini will learn a lot from this fixture. There's a couple of notable players missing. And we mentioned this before we went live. Moise Keane up front would just provide a completely different element. Zaniolo, unfortunately, injured. Sensi, I feel, would have probably played a better role than Barella this competition just because of the way and style of play. But I just think, it's going to be a great game. It's probably game of the round for all the neutrals. I did see a comment in there that there's someone from Scotland who's been following and supporting in Italy from the, yes, there it is, since the 90s because he loves the Serie A. Well, this is probably one of the games that I have looked forward to for a very long time. And Italy has not been competitive in Europe, in the world, for a long time. And it's good to finally see that. But just on the other teams there, all the teams from the group of death, Portugal, Germany, and France have been eliminated. I don't know what that says about the group. Did they go too hard early on and just lost their feet? But the biggest surprise for me, and I wouldn't call it a surprise, but was the dominance of Denmark. You see these fairy tale stories and everything that happened with Christian Eriksen. Right before the game, even Wales, they handed a signed jersey to Denmark to pass on to Christian as a gift and stuff. But I can really see them overcoming a lot. And if anyone's going to give England troubles, I feel that it's this Denmark team. But I'm not sure how you boys see it. Who do you see making the final?
Making the final. Let's go over to Michael, bro, just to hear his thoughts on the Belgium game first of all, bro, because it is going to be a tough one. Who do you think stands out, and what do you think the result's going to be, bro?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I reckon they're playing mind games on us. Like, I think De Bruyne and Hazard, but maybe not Hazard, but definitely De Bruyne will play. I think it's just a thing that they will do to try and throw us off. Look, I'll be honest with you, sometimes when you do have an easier group and you're playing a few easy teams to begin with, it does help. Like, I'll give you an example. The last Euro, when Portugal won it, they had a pretty decent run. They finished third in their group, first of all, and they played all their games at extra time until the final. And they played the final in extra time and they won it. So I think it's also a matter of how fit these players are and how many injuries each team has. That makes a big difference as well. I think, look, we do have a lot of options. I think we have a lot of options. And just because worldwide, in the world, not everyone knows who Matteo Pessina is or who Belotti is, some of these players can come in and change the game. Like, I don't know about you, but I personally believe when Belotti came on, drawing those fouls and breaking up that game, that was a big way of us moving forward in that game against Austria, and it actually helped us win it. Also, Chiesa, being a Juventino, I love Chiesa. He's probably my favourite player at Juventus right now. He probably deserves to start. I think, scoring a goal like that in such significance, you deserve to start. And I think Locatelli needs to as well. But I think if Locatelli starts, it should be out of Barella, Verratti, and Pessina to take that final spot because we need the body. Switzerland, they were a lot larger. They were, they're Germanic blood. Like, they're all tall, they're all strong, they're all physical. And Belgium, they've got a pretty tough midfield as well. So we need the body up there. We need a bit of strength, and that's why Locatelli for me is the player we need to start. Our defense is been pretty well set. Apart from that corner that we copped, really was Jorginho's fault. That had nothing to really do with our centre backs. Bonucci's having another great tournament. Acerbi's been all right. I don't have a lot of confidence in him. Like I said in a previous podcast with you boys, especially I think Riccardo remembered this. I was talking about how I think Romagnoli should have been picked for the Italia team over him. I don't know if Bastoni is the man. Hopefully Chiellini is fit to come back. I think this is the game you play him because he does play well against Lukaku most of the time. But it all really depends on the day. It really depends on the day and who Belgium are presenting and who they're going to be putting in their midfield. Until we know, it's too hard to say who's going to be who should and who could be, the potential starting 11.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll go to Riccardo before we go on. would you take anybody and swap anybody out for that lineup just before we go in? I'll just say personally, if Chiellini's fit, I'd chuck him back in defense. But other than that, I would stick with the same midfield that just won the game. I know it did look like Verratti was a bit rusty, but I'd stay. Yeah. Go on. I think we've lost Riccardo, boys. All good. He'll be back. Yeah, he's back. Go on.
Yeah, I'm with you, Anthony. Definitely, Chiellini, if he's fit, he needs to play. This is his game. This is the game where he can bring a lot of, power, grinta. That's what we need. We need a grinta. We need someone screaming. That's what Chiellini is good. Even he played this game, and then we just rest him until the final. And Lukaku never scored with Chiellini, so definitely I will have the same. Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Chiellini, and Spinazzola. It's been great. Spinazzola has been best left back on the tournament. Midfield, I'll probably swap Locatelli for Barella with this game. Keep still Verratti in. He's class player. And the front three, I would just probably swap Berardi with Chiesa and leave the rest. Again, I think we need a striker. And how Bruno was saying before, probably Keane could it be good for us? I don't know what Mancini in his head is. Maybe it's something to do with his character. Maybe it's not glue with this group. Who knows? We know that. Going back on the surprise of the tournament, I thought the Dutch were really unlucky. The Czech got really easy through, and I think I've been saying from day one. I think England is definitely a good chance to reach the final, not to win the tournament, because they're not going to bring back. So if any English poms listen to this show, you're not bringing it back, guys. But you're not.
It's only Uncle Shama. It's only my friend Uncle Shama who's in the chat right now, bro. But I don't know what his stance in it is. He doesn't talk about it too much. Let's move on to. I was going to move on to the next games anyway. So let's move on to England and the Ukraine. First of all, the Ukraine. Oh man, Zivchenko balled out. It was a good win for them. I did not see that one coming. To be honest, in the last video we did, Riccardo, when I didn't watch it back because I was wrong on I think maybe 6 of the 8 games. Maybe 5 of the 8 games. My predictions were way off. There were a lot of upsets, and this was one of them. I did not expect the Ukraine to go through against Sweden. So well done to them. I'll go over to Bruno first, and we'll just talk about Ukraine against Sweden. One upset. Can they do the biggest upset of the tournament and do the whole world a favor and knock out the Poms, or that's just not going to happen, bro?
No, it's not going to happen. It's in. I believe the game's in Wembley. I believe it's in the UK. They've got their fans there.
I thought it was in Rome. Isn't it in Rome?
Yeah, I think it's in Rome.
It's in Rome.
It's in Rome.
So is Italy playing Wembley?
Their first game outside of Wembley.
Allora. Well, Riccardo, he went to check, so he'll be back, I'm sure. But look, either way, England, I feel. Why do you guys call the English Poms? It's just a nickname, Uncle Shama, just a nickname. But yeah. So look, I feel the biggest, and I spoke to a couple of mates this morning. The biggest thing I take out of the England game this morning wasn't the win; it was the fact that Harry Kane scored. He's had such a timid competition so far, where he has had absolutely next to no involvement in anything. The fact that he got that ball in the back of the net, even though it was the 85th minute, is something to worry about. Because he wasn't, I think he was the top scorer in England, but he wasn't up there for no reason. But the one thing I do find an issue with this England squad is there are 11 players on a field. There's no connection, there's no team, there's no nothing between them. And that's why Harry Kane's taken so long to get that goal. That's why, there was all this hype about Phil Foden, and I don't remember the player, but they said he was the next Lionel Messi. They're making all of these comments, but I feel the pedigree of England is going to get them past Ukraine. And as Riccardo said, I cannot see them getting stopped until the final.
Yeah, Riccardo, what are your thoughts on England versus Ukraine, man? You think it's going to be a high scoring game? You think they can at least drag it out to maybe 60 minutes, 70 minutes Ukraine, or it's just one-way traffic, brother?
Well, first of all, I want to say, because you followed the show before, I had a lot of belief on Sweden, and I'm really surprised they got out yesterday. But I think yesterday they couldn't perform at all. Ukraine was strong, then they got the strike record. I mean, no doubts. And I watched the England game. I don't know if you guys watched it. The first 20 minutes, there was only one team in the pitch, and that was Germany.
Mm.
They were lucky again, because Germany doesn't have a striker. Because if they could have been 2-0 up. At the end, that's England. This tournament is designed for the English. You say there are not 11 people on the pitch, but there are 12 with the supporters on the stands. And that makes the difference. You know what I mean? Harry Kane. No one can complain about Harry Kane. Touch one ball, put it in. Sterling has been great. The midfield, I don't know. There's a lot of thought about the midfield. But, I don't think, they can go to the final, but still they need to be Ukraine. Because now Ukraine, same. I think it's the first time they reach quarterfinal. And also Denmark. Denmark, I think they could. I hope to see England-Denmark in the semi-final. That would be a great game.
Yeah.
Definitely be a great game. I think Denmark got something on a chip. They can. I think Bruno was saying before. This thing of Eriksen maybe united the team. That in this short tournament, you need definitely totally opposite of what France. They weren't united at all. Actually, they just crumbled. Really disappointing.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I get what you're saying about Germany as well. They had 2 one-on-ones. Werner hit it like a true winger would and not a striker. Hit it straight in the guts of the keeper on the floor. And then you got Thomas Muller as well, who's usually pretty decent, but he just dragged it wide. So those were the 2 biggest chances for me. They should have scored a couple of goals. Michael, we're going to get the ball rolling on one of the other fixtures, man. And there's 15 people in the video now, which is an awesome amount for this time on an afternoon in Australia, especially. Where should we go next? Let's go over to Czech Republic and Denmark, bro. 2 sides where you'd be forgiven for saying they wouldn't be here at this stage of the tournament. But well done for Denmark after that initial first game loss and setback. And also equally as well done to Patrick Schick and Czech Republic. Man, what are your thoughts about these 2 sides so far, man? And who do you think will come out on top?
Watching this tournament, just especially Patrick Schick in this tournament, it just made me realise where Juventus went wrong. This kid was at our training ground. There's a photo of him wearing a Juventus training top, and for whatever reason, I think it was.
I think he did that to like 4 sides, bro. Sorry to interrupt you, but I swear he did that to like 4 different sides as well.
Yeah.
Now I keep hearing about it. Go on.
Yeah, it's funny, but for Juventus, I don't know, they probably should have got the deal done, but they didn't. But anyways, in this tournament, he's been phenomenal. His value is going to go through the roof. He's still quite young. I think he's 23, 24 years old, if I can remember. He's carried this team. They've been so great with him. His goals have been quality goals too. They haven't just been, tap-ins or little, headers from a corner. They've been quality goals. So you've got to give him credit. As for Denmark, they're literally playing for Eriksen, and you can just see it. And I've got to give a lot of respect to Kajur. He's been unbelievable as a leader and as a captain for that whole squad. He's brought them together, and I think his actions are what's bringing this team into this next stage of this tournament, because he's such a great leader. I didn't even realize he was such a good captain. Even maybe AC Milan need to think about potentially putting him as a captain there in the future, but. Look, in my opinion, this year, he's really been in the top 20 of the world centre-backs. He's been unbelievable for Milan. He's taken Romagnoli's position, So I think we've got to give him credit. And with the help of him and Christian Poulsen, they're really going to push this year, I reckon.
Yeah, nice, man. I'm very impressed with Denmark, bro, and I think that they might be able to be the ones that can actually get the better of England, bro. So that's what I'm counting on there. Bruno, Czech and Denmark, let's stay on them for a second. What's your prediction for it, bro?
Denmark 2-0.
Denmark 2-0. Early goals, late goals, extra time?
Don't know. You can't pick at this tournament. You know, there's been so many times where the goals have gone against the run of play. You were talking about Patrick Schick's goals earlier. They were getting dominated. I don't know who they're playing, but they're getting dominated, and he scores one from halfway. And
that turned the whole tournament for them. That was it. From there on in, they're just posting
you
on
know,
that.
It can go either way. Like this competition is one of you know, as Patrick Vieira would put it, it lacks intensity for some of the teams, Italy specifically. But so it's a competition where you can't predict. But and like you said, you got 6 out of 8 wrong, and it just says it, you know. But I feel, at the end of the day, Denmark 2-0. Check the steam train's gonna stop rolling. They beat Netherlands after the intentional handball. They'll do nothing until then. You know, it took them losing one of their key central defenders for the Czech to finally take advantage. So I don't know. Heart and soul gets Denmark across the line for me.
Riccardo, prediction for Denmark, Czech Republic?
Yeah, I agree with Bruno. You know, on the delete things, you know, there's a lot of speaking about what he did. He took responsibility. It's a mistake. Can happen. After he got sent off, the team crumbled. So that show how strong delete is. That's the way I see it. And I think Denmark. I don't know. Probably Czech going there. They're not gonna give themselves up there easy. You know what I mean? They one game to the semi-final. I think that's the best result they have reached. So I see the game going a long way.
Yeah, I reckon it could go down to extra time.
Denmark winning, but 51-49.
Yeah. Next one's a big one, man. I didn't expect. It's not fair to say you don't expect Spain to get this far in the tournament. They're always going to be a tricky side. They haven't looked great in many of their games. Even their 5-0 win over Slovakia, it was pretty even until that goalkeeper made a game-changing blunder. So going into Spain and Switzerland, you know, two sides that are really going to fancy their chances. Switzerland because they've just gone through against the world champions, and Spain because, you know, now they're the team with momentum. They might have started the tournament slow, but now they'll go into the quarterfinals knowing, hey, guys, we're 2 games away from a final here. Morata, as much as he cops, he's actually an integral part of this team. He's one of the more mature players on the pitch, and I think that he deserves the praise for the goals that he does score, just as much as he deserves the crap for the ones that he misses. We'll go to the Juventini first to talk about Morata and friends. Morata and co. Michael, you first, bro. Spain, slow starters, but you wouldn't be confident betting against them from here on in.
Oh, look, they've done it before. They'll do it again. They're a phenomenal team, the Spanish. They're just very, very good at getting things done. It's just part of the curriculum of playing the game. And for Morata, you know, another great Juventus player. I'm very happy we've decided to keep him on for the rest of his loan. He's been really good in the Euros. I personally reckon you don't need to score goals as long as you're contributing to the team getting results. That's all that matters when you're a striker. Goals will come, but contributing to the results is more important. And I think Morata plays a big part in that. But they've got a lot of other great players. They've got Moreno, who's been really good. He's been quite prolific. I expected him to be not as good as this, but he's been quite good in the last 2 games that they've scored 5 goals in. He's been pretty consistent. As for Switzerland, you know, Xhaka has been really good. He's as a leader as well. He's been really pushing this Switzerland team through their paces, and they're getting results. As for also Ricardo Rodriguez missing that penalty, you know, apart from that, he's actually not been too bad. I thought he's played a few good games here and there, but I think to win this game, I think Switzerland might actually get on top of Spain. I think Spain are getting a bit too confident. They've scored 10 goals in 2 games. I think they're going to start to think they're going to be pushing over this Switzerland team. But I think with them coming back from being 3-1 down, Switzerland will have the faith to go on and win this game.
Fair enough. Bruno, over to you for your prediction for Spain versus Switzerland.
Look, it's not fair to judge Switzerland and Spain based off their group performances. In any competition, you have the top two qualifying. Here, you just need to record a win. The top three qualify, right? So I can't really judge them based off their group performances, but I think you hit the nail on the head, Michael, in the sense of they've scored 10 goals in 2 games. If that's not enough to motivate you, nothing will be. And you got to just remember that it's Spain we're talking about. You know, we're not talking about Denmark or Iceland last Euros and stuff like that. We're talking about Spain where, you know what, as much as it hurts to say it, you know, Morata is a phenomenal player. You know, yeah, he cops it because he makes the easy look so difficult, but his contribution is fantastic. And I just think they're going to get over the line. They played Croatia, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They Croatia? Did. Yeah, they beat Croatia. They beat Croatia, which was probably one of the harder teams to play against. Switzerland beat France, but we all touched on it. France have a lot of internal problems, and Switzerland were just great in defense and really grinded out that win. But yeah, I see Spain going through. What do you think, Riccardo?
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. Definitely, you know, there's going to be surprises on this quarterfinal. So taking off the Belgium-Italy game, that whoever goes through, you know, is still a big team. I think the surprise will come from the other 3 games. I don't see Spain going out against Switzerland. But, you know, everything can happen, man, in the 90 minutes. Yeah, I reckon Spain will go through. I think they find the mojo, they find the grinta to go through. 10 goals in 2 games, it's a pretty big statement. And they concede a lot. But I don't see Switzerland passing the Spain at all. But that's my thought.
No, fair enough. 5 goals, 5 decent goals, except, you know, they conceded the funniest one with the goalkeeper making the biggest mistake. I don't know how he's going to mentally recover from that, man. That's the biggest.
I don't know what the jazz on the bench.
Yeah, or I don't. Maybe he was injured or something, muscle injury, or maybe they just felt like the goalkeeper could get a run. But
I saw him running on the pitch after the game, so that if he must be injured with his hands, not with his feet.
Yeah, I don't know. What a mistake, bro. That was the funniest shit I've seen all tournament, man, honestly. But yeah, we've been going for over half an hour, and I'm happy to pretty much wrap it up from here. It was a really good round of 16, but overall, so I think we're all predicting the same thing. Let's try and get our final 4 brackets sorted. I'll go first and embarrass myself. I'll just back the badge on my chest. Although there's a large part of me that thinks we're going out in these quarterfinals. I just think the quality of Belgium, it's going to be a shock, like an electric shock to this Italian side. But they're chokers, and I've said it time and time again, and I'll keep saying it. They've been in this golden generation for 3 major tournaments now, and they keep getting knocked out earlier than expected to. They've got a couple of years to win something now and the World Cup, and then they're going to have to start looking for younger players because that defense isn't getting any younger, that midfield isn't getting any younger. And Romelu Lukaku, as good as he is now, is still going to get older. So if they can't make it work now, I'm not too sure how they are. So I'll go Italy into the semi-finals to take on Spain, while England end up against Denmark. Bruno, you next.
Yeah, look, like you said, the thing that I'm holding on to is that Belgium choke. And I just feel they don't have anyone who has won anything. You know, De Bruyne's won the title in England, but what's that at the moment? But yeah, look, I just think this Italian team, although they're not the best team on paper, they're a great team, and they're unified. They're unified, unlike something I've seen in a very long time. So I see them getting through. I said Spain, England, Denmark. Yeah, pretty much the same as you.
Awesome. Michael, in the event that we don't speak to you again on the channel before the final, what's your prediction on the tree from here on in, bro? Sorry to give you such a bullshit question, but off you go, all the way to the winner.
Nah, it's good. I'll answer it. It's all good. I think Switzerland. I back him to go to penalties with Spain, and they'll get the job done. They'll go the mile with them, I reckon. I think it'll be Belgium that will verse them. I don't see us beating Belgium. I think Lukaku in the form that he's in, you can't stop him. No matter if you're a 30-plus-year-old centre back like Bonucci and Kylian, who have all the experience in the world. I just think he's too good, and he might cause a bit of damage on us. We haven't really faced a great striker this tournament yet, so I think he can be the wake up. As for the other part of the tree, I think England will go on to win it, and they will verse Denmark. I think Denmark will get the job done against Czech, and I think England, this tournament, it's very, very convenient for them. The finals in Wembley, the semi-finals in Wembley, all they have to do is win in Rome, and they're there. They're pretty much there. So realistically, it's theirs to lose. And if Italy, in saying this, I think if Italy was to go on and beat Belgium, we have to beat them in the 90 minutes. I think after 90 minutes, we're going to get tired. We played 120 minutes plus penalty. 120 minutes previous. So I think we need to get him in the 90 minutes, and we need to score an early goal. A goal in the first half, the game changes. The game completely changes, and that's what we were lacking against Austria. If we got that goal in the first half against Austria, the game would have been over before it started. That's just my opinion, but that's how I see things planning out to be.
No, I like it, bro. That's a good shout. I like it. You get the early goal, you change the game plan of the opposition side. And Belgium haven't really played, apart from Portugal for periods of the game, they've played most of the tournament on the front foot. Riccardo, specifically, you were pretty good with the Austria prediction. What you predicted you said it was going to be very, very tough and pretty much go the distance, and it was. So what do you specifically think this game's going to look like?
Okay, guys, it's being in Italy, my only concern is this national team is being pumped too much. You guys know here, every show on the television, every interview, they're just pumping this team. They're just pushing this team to win. And I just, all the World Cup we won it, all the big tournament we won it is because we were out of the spotlight. This time we are on the spotlight big time, 24/7. Guys, living here. Every time you turn on the television, it's Italy, newspaper, Italy. They got to win. They got to kill everyone. I just hope they don't go to the head of the players. Another things that we never spoke about on these knockout stages, and in every game Italy play, we never concede first. If we concede first, I don't know how the reaction would be. Michael was saying we need to score early. If the goal with Austria was not offside, I think I don't know if we would ever go through, because going down 1-0, I don't see Italy having the power to change the game. So this is something we have to take in consideration. This is something Mancini knows really well, being a player before and being a coach. We never concede. And a game like this, quarterfinal, is really, really important. We not concede first. How Portugal concede with Belgium, if you guys saw the game, second half was all Portugal. I'm actually happy we're facing Belgium than not Portugal. Portugal is harder to beat. Belgium is not. But it's really important not conceding the first goal. But this is also for the rest of the tournament. Even if we reach the semi-final, we don't have to concede first. That could be our breaking point. I hope to not be bad luck, but I reckon 2-0 Italy.
That would be absolutely beautiful. Classic scoreline. If you're still one of the 13 people here right now, I thank you very much for joining us. It's been nice. Make sure you like the video before you leave. And I want to give a big thank you to my 3 guests. Riccardo, all the way from Sicily. Thank you so much, brother. It was a pleasure, and we'll see you again soon.
Forza Italia.
Forza Italia. Michael, my friend from just over the state. It's nice to see you, bro. All the best. Stay healthy.
Grazie, Anthony. And we'll speak very soon. Thank you very much.
100%. And Fratelli Bruno, it's good to hear from you again. Go shave, bro. What are you doing?
Not shaving until Italy are knocked out. Not shaving until I don't shave or cut my hair until we lose. But yeah, no, look, thanks. And just like you said, Riccardo, I remember 2006. We conceded one goal before the final, and we scored that goal against the USA and own goals. So yeah, I like it. Let's do this. It's the one time where the entire fan base of the Serie A can finally unite and not fight amongst each other, but fight together.
Yeah. Except Armando. Peace, Armando. There's your joke for the end of the show, Riccardo. You said no joke.
Armando all the time.
Beautiful. From all of us here, Forza Azzurri. Let's go.